When Emily Dawson leaves the house, she gets into one of roughly 300,000 electric cars on Australian roads. It's a move she always wanted to make.
It's lovely to drive, it's super smooth. It kind of ticks all the boxes for us as a family, but you know, I always say that with a caveat of the fact that it makes sense because we are able to charge it off the relatively large solar system that we have at home.
But even with an expansive rooftop solar and battery setup, it could prove more complicated to replace the ute she and her husband use for their business with an electric model.
With the additional load of having to charge a ute, which is a huge amount of kilowatt hours in the battery, then we may need to also up the solar system as well to sort of justify the cost of that. And obviously they're going to be much more expensive than, you know, my smaller electric car.
EVs are steadily growing in popularity, albeit from a low base. But even the converted are finding EVs don't yet meet all of their needs, despite a flood of new options.
We now have over 100 EVs on sale in Australia, and there's over 50 plug-in hybrids. So it's not supply, the problem is consumer demand. People at this point, for whatever reason, don't want to buy EVs.
Whether it's range anxiety or other concerns, many buyers still appear to be holding out. That's bad news for the government's climate goals, which require a big cut in vehicle emissions. From 2035, fossil fuels, according to its transport emissions plan, will be used only in very specific circumstances.
What does that actually mean in practice for the Australian vehicle fleet?
It describes the transition that is over time, and that last column goes out to 2050.
It's not just a domestic issue in Australia, it's an international issue that we're producing EVs, they're quality vehicles, but we're not getting the sales uptake that was expected.
The government insists it's not mandating what consumers can and can't buy, but it has put in place rules that discourage car makers from selling too many petrol and diesel vehicles.
We want Australians to have more choices, and our new vehicle efficiency standard is driving that very well. We haven't even really seen that have any impact yet, but the number of EVs that will be available to Australians over the next 12 months is about to explode. About 3/4 of new vehicles sold in Australia are still internal combustion engines, although that number has decreased in recent years. While drivers looking for an alternative have been about twice as likely to opt for a hybrid over a fully electric car. Australia's high sale rate for petrol and diesel vehicles is significantly more than in the European Union, and more than twice the UK, where hybrids are proving most popular. Meanwhile, Norway, which has significant tax incentives in favour of electric vehicles, has achieved an EV sales rate of almost 90%.
I would hope that we don't go through the exercise of putting the price of cars up, because the problem that faces is a buyer's strike.
The government is providing generous tax breaks for buyers, but it's also considering a road user charge to raise funds for infrastructure from EV owners who don't pay fuel excise, which generates around $16 billion a year.
Right around the table, people had a view that this is an idea whose time has come. And so we will do that work.
That was the Treasurer in August, after the government's economic roundtable embraced road user charging as an important productivity reform. In recent weeks, it's cooled on the idea because a new tax on EVs might dissuade buyers.
One of the key considerations as we work through all of the issues and complexities in road user charging for EVs is to make sure that we're not a deterrent.
We're worried about EV take-up.
It's one of the
things. The free ride that electric vehicles are currently getting when it comes to paying for road maintenance and upgrade.
It's notable the National Party has dumped its historic resistance to road user charging so that it can be applied to EV owners. On average, petrol and diesel drivers pay more than $1,000 a year in fuel excise, while EV counterparts pay nothing. States want the Commonwealth to start taxing EVs now, while the numbers affected are relatively small.
Full disclosure, I drive an electric car. I think we should have a road user charge here. I mean, I still use the same roads as someone who's got a petrol car uses, and if we want people to buy more, and I think they will in the years ahead, someone's going to have to fix these potholes that are popping up everywhere.
A poll by the Australian Automobile Association suggests EV owners would support a tax if the money gets spent on things like new charging infrastructure. A government decision to go slow on this reform could end up making the problem harder to solve in future.
Obviously, I don't want to pay extra, but it's something that I realise that is going to have to happen because at the end of the day, somebody has to pay for the roads to be maintained.